What's up guys, I just want to apologize for how long it's taken me to release this video. I've had some pretty big changes going on in my life, some good, some bad. It's been a little hard for me, so that's why it's taken me so long to get a video out there. You might notice a little bit more of a gap between my videos right about now. I'm going to release another video sometime over the next week or so explaining everything, showing some of the new stuff in my life and going over what's going on. But anyway, without further ado, here's the latest video. What's going on guys? Today I'm going to show you how to fix a small spot of peeling clear coat on your car. So this is what we're working with today. This is my 2013 Scion FR-S. Before I had it, I think the previous owner was in a small wreck and the front bumper and this headlight was replaced. It was stock headlights. This was like way before I owned it. And I don't think the collision shop did a good job at blending the paint. If you look really hard, there's like a couple like peeling clear spots on here. There's one right here on the fender, and there's this one really bad right here on the hood. This is what I'm going to be working with today. The first thing that I'm actually going to do is wet sand this down. I'm going to flake all these loose pieces of clear off right here, and then I'm going to wet sand this down until it's smooth. I'm going to use 1000 grit right here around the edges, and then once it's smooth, I'm going to sand 2000 grit to blend into that 1000 grit. And then at that point, we're just going to wash it all down and we're going to paint it. So to do this, you don't necessarily have to have a gun. I do have a gun and a can of Clearcoat that I can spray through that gun, but you can also use a spray can to do this. So we're gonna go ahead and start the sanding.
They all thought I wouldn't make it. They all think that you're faking, but seeing ain't believing. I know now. I take all your...
Okay, so here's where we're at right now. If you look really carefully, actually not even that carefully, you can see I went through the base coat right there, and I started to right there as well. I was gonna stop here and just try to go buy some paint, some base coat that I could spray on there. Really, I wanted to get this further down. There's still like a little bit of an edge there, but I think I just decided, rather than just trying to get some base coat and touch up right here, I'm gonna spray clear on here just so that it's good in the meantime, and then ultimately I'm just gonna get some of this actual color, like a whole bunch of it, and I'm just going to spray the whole hood. So I'm just going to redo the hood because chances are it's probably going to end up peeling up somewhere anyway, so I'll just end up taking all of the clear coat off the hood and respraying the whole thing. But for now, we're going to continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this in the garage. Actually, before I pull this in the garage, I'm going to wash this with regular dish soap. You don't want to use automotive soap with wax in it, so you want to just use regular dish soap. And I'm going to wipe it down with wax and grease remover and then wipe it down with rubbing alcohol.
Burn it as my fuel, yeah, 'cause we're running out of time. So I'm gonna make it mine. The chosen one, I'm not the one.
Alright, so next step, we just gotta mask everything off.
Rush to barricades, levitate, got it tatted on me, told them follow me, they see the vision, now it's 2020, clear as Tahoe, Lexus, clear as day, no longer move around.
Alright, so here we have what we're gonna paint. As you can see, the newspaper is folded back instead of taped, so we don't have as harsh of a line there. I wasn't gonna paint all the way down here, but you can see there's some scratches, so I'm just gonna paint this whole section right here. To be honest, I don't really know how this is gonna hold up. Maybe I should grab the 200 grit and scuff up the outside here, but I already cleaned it, so I don't want to redo that. If it doesn't hold up, then I'll just repaint the whole hood. Like I said, I'm gonna do that anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're gonna go ahead and get the paint mixed up, and then we're gonna spray it. Because it's clear coat, overspray doesn't matter as much. Like, it would put like a texture on here maybe. We'll see. I'm only gonna be doing, 1, 2 right there, and then again, maybe 3 times total or something like that. So depending on how it dries and turns out and how it's starting to look. So we're gonna go ahead and get the paint mixed up.
Pray you hear me like the winter wind against your window pane. Feel the bass, baby, soak it in and let it marinate. It's time to hustle, gotta muscle up and run through barricades. Yeah.
I'm so out of it today. I'm gonna be amazed if this turns out even remotely decent. But I got the paint all mixed. Now we're gonna go ahead and spray it. Okay, so here's what it looks like after 4 coats. Obviously, it's not that great. The clear coat turned out awesome. I mean, there's not like much orange peel in there. So I know, like, if I painted this hood myself, I could clear it and it would come out really well, like really good. What's gonna happen here is on these edges, I know that there's gonna be like a solid difference because this is like fresh paint and the rest is like old and scratched. So you're definitely gonna be able to tell where I painted it. It's gonna have to be wet sanded and blended in a little bit. And up here, we do have some issues with the clear coat spot. It is uneven. There was still like a dip down there. So what I did was I did 4 coats of clear coat. The other issue is around the edges. You can't really see it. Oh, there you can. I sanded through the metallic part of the paint. So there's some black under there. I don't know if that's like black primer or what, but that's what I sanded down to. So it's not gonna look good. And then there, obviously I sanded either almost down to metal, or maybe there's gray primer underneath there or something, so you can see that. What's gonna happen though is I'm gonna wet sand this, so at least it's not uneven. So there will be like the discoloration there, but the clear coat is gonna be even. So just kind of try to use your imagination, I guess. This looks way better than it did. This thing looked disgusting. So obviously the spot's still there, but it's shiny now instead of dull, and there's no flaking paint. So we're gonna go ahead and wet sand this a different day, and you're gonna see exactly how it turns out when it's all done. All right guys, it is the next day. Here's where we're at right now. This thing looks like garbage, but we're gonna try to make it look a little better. So if you look really carefully, you can see the discoloration. There's also like no metallic around it, but it's really hard to notice. You can only see that in the correct light. I mean, you can always see this gray part, but I don't really care too much about that. I kind of wish I would have been able to touch this up, but whatever. These edges are obviously pretty bad, but they are a little bit feathered, so I don't think I'm going to have any trouble wet sanding it. So we're going to wet sand, you know, like this away and get rid of these edges. We're also going to wet sand this to remove this uneven clear coat part. I did do 4 coats of clear, so we should have no problem getting that wet sanded out without going through the clear. The first thing that I'm going to do is actually just wipe this down with a wet rag, and then I'm going to start wet sanding. We have 1000 grit and 1500 grit in there, and we're going to see exactly what we can do. Hopefully I don't destroy my hood, because Dream Cruise is this weekend and I don't want to look like trash. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. This is buffed, or this is sanded with 1000 grit, then 1500. Obviously we have like finger marks in here, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. We got to get these edges better. I'm just getting a little nervous. So I just want to polish this, and I want to see what it looks like as is, and then we'll probably go from there. It looks like I may have... No, I didn't start going through the clear coat there. That's actually the new clear coat on top of the old clear coat. So yeah, there's a little bit we got to figure out here, but I'm just going to go ahead and polish this out and see what it looks like.
Rush to bed case, levitate, got it tatted on me, told them follow me, they see the vision, now it's 2020, clear as tile, Lexus clear as day, no longer move around in fear, disarray.
Okay, so I polished this, I guess I didn't record it, but it's not getting all the sanding scratches out, as you can see, so that's a problem, and these edges are really a problem. Like, you can see them clear as day. So I gotta sand more. This part is pretty smooth. Once I get that like super glossy, it might be okay. Obviously you can see the imperfections still, but I'm gonna wet sand it a tiny bit more right there, and I'm gonna really wet sand these edges. Hopefully I don't go through the clear coat. If I do go through the clear coat, it can't really look too much worse than it does right now. It already needs to be completely repainted, so we're gonna keep going.
Like the winter wind against your window pane. Feel the bass, baby, soak it in and let it marinate. It's time to hustle, gotta muscle up and run through barricades, yeah.
I got their opinions, and I got mine. I used to care what they said about me. Now I ain't got the time. Take a moment, take a seat, it's okay.
What's up, guys? So this is actually quite a bit later, but I got the car done right here, and it probably looks good from that angle, but it actually looks very terrible. So Unfortunately, this was kind of a fail. After the video cut out last, I took it into my other garage and I just wheeled out the whole hood for quite some time actually, and it looks okay. I wouldn't say it looks even better than it did before I even started, so it's kind of a giant waste of time, but whatever. I am either going to completely repaint the hood or I'm going to wrap the car, so I don't exactly know what to do yet, but here, take a look at the results. So the first thing that you notice is you can clear as day see where I messed everything up. From the right angle, it's shiny, like it's super reflective. So I mean, it turned out okay, but obviously you can see that. You can't always see that in every light, but in pretty much every light. And then also the clear coat is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick it up on camera. It's really bad in certain light. There, you can see it. It's a different color, which I guess I should have expected. This is where I tried to like blend it, so you can see it like comes down, but it's pretty noticeable. So I have like a square of different color clear on my hood, and then this spot right here. And I mean, obviously the whole thing is super shiny, but that's about all I got out of it. So I would recommend that if you're gonna do this, first of all, properly fix this. Use a block maybe to sand it down so you don't sand into the base coat like I did, and that you're only sanding clear off. And worst case, just touch up that little area with base coat, and then you're gonna want to clear the whole hood. Don't try to clear just a small spot like I did. Obviously that's not going to work out. So either that or just repaint the whole body panel that you're trying to fix, but that's no fun either. So whatever, I guess you can't win. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and peace out.